December 26, 1943. Darling Mother, I'm starting something new. Perhaps it's madness. Perhaps it is dangerous. There are times when one is commanded to do something, even at the price of one's life.
The parachutists would have the mission to make contact with the Jews of Hungary, find means of rescuing them, find means of stimulating resistance.
In the mountains, one hears the question, whom shall I send? And the answer, send me.
Suddenly, Hannah and I realized that we were surrounded with no means of escape.
Hannah threw her arms around my neck, sobbing, "Mother, forgive me."
Hannah Senesh understood small gestures can mean very big things. She understood what one person can do.
She was such a combination of courage and gentleness.
I don't want to spoil the image of our Jeanne d'Arc, but I didn't like her. I admired her.
Hundreds of millions of Europeans were captive peoples. And here was this little group who said, we're going to try to do something.
The courage, the poetry, the dream, combined in one person.
Blessed is the match, consumed in kindling flame. Blessed is the flame that burns in the secret fastness of the heart. Blessed is the heart, with strength to stop its beating for honor's sake. Blessed is the match.
Born David Gruen in 1886, David Ben-Gurion was one of 11 children. When he was just 3 years old, his grandfather taught him how to speak Hebrew. He also read him the stories of the Bible, the book that would shape Ben-Gurion's views throughout his life.
For him, the Bible is the essence of our life. It's the story of the Jewish people. He loved the prophets. He loved the prophets in the Bible. He loved the language of the Bible. For him, the Bible was the essence of the Jewish people. And it's not only that he knew the Bible from front to back, he knew it, he lived it. In many times where I saw him talking to people and talking to rabbis, he knew the Bible better than they did. And it was fascinating.
In Jerusalem, Ben-Gurion soon realized that the Jews had no hope of a state without a leader.
Once I asked him, I said, what is it? You woke one day and I said to him, you woke one day and decided you want to build a country? I said, if anybody would tell me that on the street, I would say that he's a lunatic. He says, Alon, when I had questions and nobody could give me the answers, that's when I decided I've got to give the answers.
The girl who went from raising money for school books to raising money for an army.
She was very effective because she spoke from the heart. She knew how to relate to the people.
We feature the Iron Lady of Israel, Golda Meir.
Somebody said she appeared to us like Deborah the prophetess, fighting Israel. And she was very good in the two languages they understood, Yiddish and English. And she became involved in politics since around 1922-23. And she was in politics in Israel for 50 years. In the trade union movement, in the Jewish Agency, the government of Israel, Labour Party, one of the founders of Labour Party.
By the mid-1930s, Golda was part of the inner circle of David Ben-Gurion, who would become Israel's first prime minister.
He saw her as one of his trusted lieutenants.
Herzl shut himself in his apartment and wrote his ideas down for 5 straight days. When a friend of his visited, he was alarmed by Herzl's disheveled appearance and wild ideas. He suggested they get some fresh air. And as they walked, he told Herzl to get some medical help before someone hauled him off to a madhouse. Herzl paid no attention, and the following year, he published his most famous work, The Jewish State.
Theodor Herzl, in his book, The Jewish State, dreams. And he talks about this new nation state being a beacon to humanity. He talks about it being a model democracy.
He had a dream, and it was a good dream. But you know, there's a distance between dreaming and between bringing something to fruition. It took pioneers, it took men of action, men of work. Herzl was, in the words of that wonderful song, the wind beneath their wings.